Another law-breaking integrity marketing group company called North American Senior Benefits claiming on ZipRecruiter that their job pays $75,000 to $150,000. Complete rubbish. You'll hear an interview from one of their very smooth recruiters that will be saying in a straight face that the average income among their 5,000 agents is $92,000. And of course, they have exclusive leads for $12 a pop. This is the same technique that Family First Life, which I've made numerous videos, numerous interviews, complete bunk. This is the new kid on the block, a new name, a new face, and something a little bit harder to Google, but it's the same business opportunity scheme. No income disclosure statement. If these people were anything in the realm of truthfulness about their income claim, they would gladly comply with the law, which they're required to do according to the Business Opportunity Law. Gentleman named Christopher Coyle of Oklahoma got scammed by Family First Life, an integrity marketing group company, accrued $14,000 of debt, which rolled to his upline. His upline took him to court. Christopher counterclaimed, citing that exact law, which I'll put in the description. We have to push our state attorney generals, the State Department of Securities, to prosecute these people. I know in the state of Oklahoma, 10 years in jail as well as civil penalties. Complete rubbish. People coming in the business, their lives are being ruined based on these false business opportunity claims, which are not registered and not in compliance. Roll the tape. We'll hear Family First Life's sister company called North American Senior Benefits. We'll hear what their recruiter is regurgitating the rubbish that one integrity marketing group company has used for years to defraud tens of thousands. And this is simply a different company name, but virtually the same business plan.
My name is Andy Tillman, David. I'm with North American Senior Benefits. You had reached out to our office on Friday.
Right,
Spoke with Jasmine. Yeah, she sent me a message saying you wanted me to give you a call. I'm the National Recruiting Director for North American Senior Benefits.
What is your name again?
Andy Tillman.
Hey, Andy. What's up, Andy?
Well, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Very good.
In Florida?
Man, just having a good time here. It's all parties.
Yeah, well, I grew up down there, so I know what Florida's like.
You know, everyone's just happy all day, unlike other places. Well, you're a child, so you remember.
Unless a hurricane comes in, then you're not so happy.
Yes, that is correct.
So help me out a little bit, David. Are you currently an agent, or?
I'm not an agent. I was on ZipRecruiter. I saw a bunch of ads there. I did see yours. It says 75 to 150 or so. Currently, I'm working at a T-Mobile call center. I'm in the retention department. I'm pretty good at it. I would happen to say I'm probably the best at it. There's 100 people in our department, and I would say I'm the best. I'm right up there at the top. I do recall a couple of years ago, a gentleman was in our department. He showed me a bunch of stuff for a company. I believe it was called Family First Life. He saw a bunch of videos and he wanted me to go to the convention.
Yeah.
I was just in the ZipRecruiter. I didn't really see ads for them. I saw ads for you. I noticed you were both part of Integrity Marketing Group, so I figure it's the same thing.
Yeah, you're correct in that. We were acquired by Integrity about a year ago, and we have already become their number one organization when it comes to senior life insurance. We're in what's called the final expense market, which is the senior market. Let me tell you about us, David, and then you can think about we can talk about whether or not it might be something you want to explore. How's that?
Sure, that would be fine.
Okay, we're in the life insurance business, David, and our business is a senior market. That's the baby boom generation. And what we do, David, we spend over $1 million a month in direct mail marketing to the senior market, and enclosed in the information that we send them is a response card. And if they're interested in some life insurance, they fill that card out and they mail it back to us. Well, David, you don't have to be a genius to know that creates a lead. We then pass those leads on to our agents in the field, who in turn phone the individual, set an appointment with them, go by to see them, and hopefully sell them a policy. And this is a business that you can work from home, set your own schedule. You have total control of your time. There's no office for you to have to go into. There's none of that. It's a business that you're working with seniors. It's a very rewarding business, and right now, in spite of what you saw in the ad, right now, corporate-wise, our average income is running about $92,000 a year. That's average. As I said, we started with about 5 agents in the Atlanta area, and now today, David, nationally, we have almost 5,000 agents. That's one of the things that attracted Integrity was attracted to us about that. So we're pretty big. When it comes to the senior market. Does this sound like something you want to explore a little further, David?
Currently, I'm not making $92,000 a year, so that would be of interest to me.
Okay. Well, now this is a commission business, David. It's not a salary job. Okay. Is that a problem for you?
That is not a problem.
Okay. It seems like some of the people I have a Verizon phone. I think work on a commission.
It's very small. It's almost negligible.
A couple of things for you to know is that what we did, David, we built our business model is that once you get started and you're doing well, you can bring somebody else into the business. Now, if you do that, you're going to be responsible to get them trained, get them started, make visits with them, help them get going, do everything you can to ensure they're going to be successful, which is what we'll do with you. We don't just throw people out there. Why would you want to do that? Well, the reason you would is that every time that person sells a policy, David Jefferson gets an override commission on that sale. So what you end up with, David, is two revenue streams. You have one revenue stream is your own personal production, and the other revenue stream is the production of anyone that's on your team that sells a policy. You get an override commission. So it's really kind of giving you an opportunity to kind of build your own little company, so to speak, and that makes it really good. Now, a couple of things. We are what's known, David, as an IMO, okay? That's an acronym for Insurance Marketing Organization. We're not actually an insurance company. We don't write policies. We're an IMO. What that means is that you would be contracted with us at North American Senior Benefits, but we're licensed with 15 different insurance companies. So what that does for you, it gives you the flexibility, technically, of being able to represent 15 companies and not just one. Like if you went to work for, say, State Farm and you called on someone and you couldn't get State Farm to underwrite the policy, you're out of luck. You fold up your stuff and go out the door. Where with us, you're representing 15 companies. You'd have all the programs downloaded in your laptop or your tablet, whichever you use, so that you can find something that fits that particular individual and you can get that policy sold. Right now, our corporate average of our almost 5,000 agents, in terms of every 10 leads that they receive, our closing ratio, you know what that is. Our closing ratio is running about 4.5 out of 10. Well, my goodness, David, that's almost 50%. For many years, I owned my own corporation, David. And if my people were doing 50% closing ratios, I'd be in the Donald Trump range right now. So that's a phenomenal number at 50% closing ratio. Now, if you want to take a serious look at this, what I'll do is I'll have my regional VP give you a call and chat with you further. And then what that person will do for you, David, is set you up for what we call a ride-along. You take an afternoon and go out and ride with one of our agents. Watch what we do, observe what it's like before you decide if you think this is the direction you'd like to go. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
Okay. First of all, where are you in Florida? All I have is Florida.
Deerfield Beach.
Deerfield Beach. I know where that is.
Right, Boca Raton, Pompano Beach, right in the middle.
Yeah, I used to live in Boca.
Okay, so you know it.
Yeah, I do. But when I lived there, it wasn't as overgrown as it is now.
Right. Well, it's overgrown with green grass and palm trees and brand new houses, so it's not that bad.
Well, that's what I'm. Yeah. I should have said overpopulated.
Yeah, it's like overgrown. It's not exactly like, Hong Kong.
Yeah. No, it's not that bad. I'm trying to remember the name of the subdivision that I did what you were talking about. I went in there and they had a model home. I was working for the SDP Corporation based out of Fort Lauderdale on Commercial Boulevard, but I built a house up in Boca, and it was in a subdivision. They had like several model houses, and you pick out which model you like and where you want it for the lot, and then they'd build a house for you. So
okay, let me ask you about.
I think it was.
Let me ask you.
Estate.
Yeah, they're still there. These things, no massive fires that have wiped out houses. So the next phone call I get, you say you're up to 5,000 agents. Do you hire everyone?
No.
So there's
not.
there's a possibility we go on that ride around and the guy says to me, "Hey, I don't really feel like hiring you. Have a nice day." Well, he won't tell me on the spot.
No, what happens sometimes if people go on a ride along and they say, I don't think this is for me, okay? Once you get past me, that means that I think that you would be a pretty good candidate. And then you would talk to the regional VP. And then that person would then set you up for the ride along. after he decides or she decides that they think you would be a pretty good candidate. I think with your background, you'd probably be a natural in what we're doing. Listen, we have my number one producing female. Listen to this. She joined us 7 years ago, okay? She was a housewife with 2 elementary school-age kids, and she and her husband decided she needed to go back to work to earn some extra money for the family. Well, she joined us. That was 7 years ago. We had a convention in Athens, Georgia, back in January of this year. Her name is Ashley, and I went up to her. I said, Ashley, what kind of money did you make this year? She said, well, Andy, I made about $1.3 million. Now, this was a housewife with a high school diploma that joined us 7 years ago. She made $1.3 million last year. That's pretty good.
It's definitely more than I'm making, so I give it a shot.
Yes, more than most people are.
Right, that is correct, unless you play baseball.
Well, that's true, or football or basketball, whatever.
Yeah, football doesn't even last that long. Running backs, I heard they're not making so much money like they used to, and they only last about 2 or 3 years, so that's not even.
Well, I know a running back that played up here. I live in Athens, where the University of Georgia is, where we play serious football.
Yeah, you've got one famous guy who did pretty well.
Yeah, a guy named Herschel Walker.
So here's.
Now, help me out, David. What would be a good time for my regional VP to phone you?
Anytime. I'm here. Right now, I pick up the phone. I just have them call.
Okay. And what company you say you were with? Verizon?
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile. Okay. You guys do a lot of advertising on TV.
Right. That gets a lot of people coming in and out.
You bet it does. Yeah. Yeah. How long have you been with T-Mobile?
For about 4 years.
Okay. All right. I'll have what would be any time to give you a call?
Right. I'll pick up whatever, I know they have a list just like I have a list. So have them call. If I pick up, I pick up, or I call them back. One of the two.
Yeah. If you don't answer, they'll leave you a voicemail message and you can call them back. Okay.
Excellent. And what would that person's name be?
That person's name would be, let's see here, that would be Greg Baden, Greg, Greg, last name Baden, Baden. Now, he's like a regional vice president. He may have one of his field managers call you, but someone from representing North American Senior Benefits is going to call you. Okay?
What type of money would I have to put up just on the short end?
You don't put up any money. All you have to do, first of all, you got to get your license.
Well,
okay.
I could get a license. I'm sure that's not a problem. Yeah. I've seen some of the people that have licenses. I would have to, I believe, purchase leads. How much is that generally?
The leads run around $10-12 a lead. But if you sell, let me give you a quick idea. Is what you'd earn if you sell one simple $10,000 whole life policy. Okay, that's a pretty basic policy. Let's say you call her Ms. Jones, you sell her a simple $10,000 whole life policy, and her monthly premium is $70 a month, okay? Now, if you multiply that times 12 months, that means that her annual premium on that policy is $840. That's 12 times 70. Your commission on that one sale is 70%, or you'd earn $588 on that one sale, and you'd be paid that $588 electronically deposited into your personal checking or savings account within 4 to 5 business days. So you get paid fast. There's no waiting around for the 15th or the 30th or check in the mail. There's just none of that. So you get paid fast. If you sell 4 of those a week, then you're making about $2,352 a week. That's pretty good money.
And you start at 70%. What does it go up to if I'm doing?
You can get up. If you're a superstar, you can get up to anywhere from 105 to 110%.
I see.
And we have all.
Are these leads exclusive?
Yes. When you get a lead from us, you're the only one with that lead. No one else has it but you. So you don't have to worry about when you call Ms. Jones on the phone if she's heard from 4 different salespeople. You don't have to worry about that. You're the only one who has that lead. Even if your next door neighbor was one of our agents, he would have a different leads than you do. So we're very careful about that for sure. Remember, we're generating our own leads. We're not buying leads from some lead generating company. Listen, I got to go into an 11 o'clock meeting, David. So I'm going to have my regional VP give you a call today sometime, okay?
Thank you so much.
Have a good day, David.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.